Hi everyone, my name is Cynthia Goff, and I'm so excited to finally have my own channel and be able to welcome all of you to it. I'm originally from Porto Alegre, Brazil, but I spent many years living and teaching in England. My journey with teaching languages began when I moved to London in February 2000. The idea was to learn English. My first idea was to spend 3 months, and I realized that 3 months wasn't enough to learn English. So I decided to stay a year because I had a ticket for a year. So after nearly 12 months there, when I was about, like the last month, I was about to move back to Brazil, I met some English people for the first time and became friends with them. They used to be customers at the bar I used to work. So they invited me to go to the fencing club, which I went and became friends with them. And they became like my second family, you know. And among these friends, I met Robin, who was the love of my life, who I married and had two wonderful children, although they are teenagers now, but they're still children. Over the years, I learned and taught few languages. I learned Spanish because I used to travel a lot to Argentina. I learned Italian because my great grandmother was Italian, so I thought it was a great idea to learn Italian. And the funny thing is, I used to hate English. And the only reason I decided to go to England is because I couldn't go to Italy. And I had my cousin who lived in London, so she invited me to stay with her for a while. So while I work in England, I had so many different jobs as a student because I did 2 years of English course, general course. I I was working first on a shop which was run by a Brazilian man and his wife who was French. I worked to sell clothes, British brands, to Brazilian and South American tourists. After that, I got a job at McDonald's, but I didn't like it at all. I spent 3 months and then I found a new job, which was a sports shop, which has everything to do with me because I'm originally a physical education teacher, graduated from Portuguese here in Porto Alegre, the Federal University. But because I always loved languages, I looked for other things. My first job in education was when I worked with a Brazilian boy in primary school. He needed help with translations, with studying in general. So I decided to get work at this school. Then after a while, I thought, well, I'm a physical education teacher. Should I get a proper job? Because then I was a teacher assistant. So I wanted to really become a teacher. I applied for so many jobs, and then I found one that was just part-time job. And there they gave me the opportunity to teach physical education part-time. And then they thought, as you know about so many subjects, why not become a supply teacher? So I did. I only left that job to go to move to live in Newport, Shropshire, where my husband is originally from, Shropshire. But while I was working in London at this school, I worked as after supply teacher in PE, né? I became Portuguese and Latin teacher for gifted and talented. I start helping Portuguese girls to gain their GCSEs in Portuguese and A levels. And I also became a special needs teacher there. When I moved to the countryside, I couldn't get a job as a teacher in the mainstream school. So I worked with an agency to work, and that agency placed me in at Telford College. In Telford College, I worked with adults with special needs, and then also started um, teaching other languages, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese. I also taught Portuguese at a university there for 6 months, Birmingham University. Not the main one. I forgot the name of the at the moment. I also taught Latin at Shrewsbury College, Latin, Italian, and Spanish, and then I started working as a private teacher, and that's where I am now. When I moved in 2014, we decided to move to Brazil, and when we did, I thought it made sense for me just to become an English teacher, as I managed to teach all different subjects in English. And I also taught some kids how to read and write, especially the special needs kids. I taught them how to read and write. So I thought, why not? And I've been here in Brazil for over 10 years now, and I love teaching English.